Thank you very much, dear colleagues.
Шановні колеги, шановні присутні.
Dear colleagues, dear all. Anatolii Kurtiev, acting head of the city of Zaporizhzhia, acting mayor. Zaporizhzhia is like any other cities and towns of our country before war. We all had wanted to become European cities, but it just happened that our city turned out to be a city lying next to the front line, literally. Thank you very much. Now, please put the presentation onto the screen. And I would like to tell you about the top priorities that the local city authority has got. One of the priorities is supporting our armed forces, servicemen and women, and thanks to these boys and girls, this town is Ukrainian, despite the fact that the larger part of the province is occupied by the enemy, and so this means that we have additional burden onto the provincial budget. So one of the important thing is to mitigate the what's been caused by the war. So the Zaporizhzhia is next to the front line, so there's a great burden, financial burden on the city's budget and on the utility companies. We need to clear up what the Russians have done to the city and to the province. And another thing that we've got to secure, we need to secure the lives of those who live in the city and the province. For many years, nothing had been done in the city. We started doing this during the combat actions, and we do, and we will continue improving the security of those who live in the city and the province, which is an additional burden onto the budget. We also care for the internal displaced people, and I'd like to tell you that the city of Zaporizhzhia, the first city to host and to evacuate people from the town of Mariupol through the hub that was created with the support of our international partners. And it took literally a week or even fewer days to set up that hub. We seem to have lost. Do you hear me? The town of Zaporizhzhia was the first to host IDPs and evacuated people from the town of Mariupol, and through this very hub that was set up With the help of our international partners, we managed to help 250,000 IDPs in the early stages of the war. They would travel to the eastern part of Ukraine or abroad. Currently, 150,000 of IDPs have decided to stay in the city of Zaporizhzhia. These are the people from the part of the Zaporizhzhia province that's captured by the enemy. They don't want to go elsewhere. They want to stay within the province, closer to their home, because they want to be back once we win. Once we win the victory. But this is another burden onto the budget, city's budget. Thank you, dear partners, for helping IDPs and for helping us evacuate the people from the enemy captured territory, because you've been helping us with humanitarian aid, but you've also taught us how to do things the right way. This is a great thing because the city was not prepared for this influx of IDPs, but we did it, and the international UNICEF organization is a reliable partner, has been and is a reliable partner, and they've been helping us within the realms of educational social protection, and they've helped our IDPs. And one of the top priorities is the rebuilding of the houses damaged or ruined. As you've seen, 11 multi-flat buildings have been ruined. More than 500 houses got damaged. 14 private houses have been destroyed to the ground, and more than 600 have been damaged. This is additional burden onto the local budget. Within the framework of the implementation of the recovery program, 11 multi-flat buildings damaged, we've allocated money from the local budget, and we've also developed all the necessary documents to rebuild those houses. So let's not wait for the war to be over. We got to hands down to work now, because the heating season is coming. People would like to be back to the houses that they used to live in the past, that got ruined and eventually rebuilt. 11 buildings will be rebuilt at the expense of the National Recovery Agency. 4 buildings will be the recovery of those will be co-financed. The first transfer from the local budget has been allocated. 4 buildings are currently being rebuilt, and we're still waiting for the support from the state and our international partners. So we're pretty much aware that our city is next to the front line, and international partners are not willing to cooperate, are reluctant to cooperate, but no matter what, we are trying to talk to them. We predict, and we want international partners help us, support us, and we see that people who left the city are returning, and we see that more and more international partners are joining us in our effort. And one of our top priorities is the social support, because those whose houses got destroyed, you've seen the number of those people. The local budget allocates money, and within the framework of the program adopted at the session of the local council, a family whose house got destroyed, every month 10,000 is given until the moment when they got a flat or a house, or their house being built. And there's also social support, single social support of 15,000 hryvnias to rebuild the damaged parts of the house, like doors, windows. But again, this all falls burden onto the shoulders of the city's budget. But then also please keep in mind that we've got to keep our city alive. So I'd like to remind you once again that no matter the fact that we're close to the front line, and no matter the fact that sometimes it's not quiet in our city, but in the city, there's street light, there's electricity, there's running water, the public transportation is functioning well. So I'd like to tell you that electric public transportation in the city of Zaporizhzhia is free of charge. riders. The ride is free. That was a decision of the city council. Thus, we try to help those who live in Zaporizhzhia and those who are IDPs in Zaporizhzhia. So these are the top priorities, and this is how our city council works now. But we also got some issues, and I would like to tell you that everything that I've just enumerated is a true additional burdens onto the city's budget. And since a lot of our companies, big enterprises, and small and medium enterprises have gotten relocated to the western part of Ukraine or abroad, we see no money coming into our budget. So in December last year, Zaporizhzhia was was on the list of the regions with active combat action. We were given some privileges, and the budget was underfinanced as well. Thanks God that we've managed to prove that we've been taken off that list, and but still a lot of budget is underfinanced. But still, we're aware that we will not be sitting idle. We start cooperating with our international partners and with big companies, with social responsible business companies, and we turn to the business circles and the social responsible business, and to rebuild one of the 50 millions will be given to rebuild one of those ruined houses. This is tranche number one, and we hope that social responsible business will be engaging into the recovery of our beloved city. But we are pretty much aware that international partners will not go to Zaporizhzhia, so that's why we started implementing our own project without any external support. So within the framework of the implementation of partnership and the twin and sistership, we've established relations with these contacts. Twinning contacts have provided us with substantial financial and humanitarian support, and in all possible niches of our life. But we had to do something to achieve that, and a good recovery tool is to develop our community. We did the following literally. So number one, we got registered on citizens platform to establish relationship with municipalities of other countries and nations. Number two, we submitted the information on the community, on the Hromada, on the partnership, and we started looking for potential partners for the unified digital resource of the Association of Towns of Ukraine. This is where we submitted our petition. Our Hromada got registered on international support platforms, and in May, Zaporizhzhia, the city of, joined a well-known network of big European cities, and started discussing the rebuilding of the city. In January 2023, at the 19th session of the Baltic Cities Council in the city of Hamburg, Zaporizhzhia was admitted as an associated town to the Union of the Baltic Cities. We shouldn't exceed the time limit. Would you be so kind to wrap up? Yes, sure, I will. We also actively cooperate with the twin towns of Oberhaus, Magdeburg, Lahti, and Linz. And within the framework of our cooperation with Germany, we've got lots of projects that we will be implementing in the field of education, healthcare, and utility companies. So over this period of martial law, we've established relations with our twin towns, and we will continue working with them, cooperating with them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anatolii, and definitely